Hi, I'm Laverne Cox, and you're watching Out at the Center.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Take your time. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Do it right. Come on, baby. Let's do it. Let's do it.
In this next segment, Out Q Radio host Frank DeCaro and writer Josh Kilmer-Purchell look into the deeper questions of gay culture today, like, where have all the sissies gone?
But I was trying to decide if I think of myself, if sissy is the word I would use. I mean, big queen, I think, is I use more
Queen.
than sissy, but attack bottom, I think, is good. Do you think of yourself as a sissy?
I'm a sissy, a retired sissy. In my career, I work in advertising. I'm a creative. And for a while, I always felt like I had to show up to the meetings with the pink tie and this, and like, oh, here's our gay creative director, here's the big sissy. And then, you'd have the big white corporate people going, oh, good, we've got a sissy on the account, we're saved. And, but that's a lot of work. It was a lot of work.
In my previous life, I was a fashion writer and a fashion editor, and that was total drag for me. I mean, I just totally, and I didn't feel comfortable with it. That's why I got out of it.
It's got its own language, fashion.
I thought it was just absurd after a while, and I was like, when I heard someone say, glasses are this year's socks, and I knew exactly what they meant, I knew it was time to get out.
I was questioned as the word effeminate, masculine effeminate, like sissies effeminate. I think there's an other. I don't know many women who lisp. I don't know women who prance. I mean, I think that's a uniquely sissy thing. Like sissies might run away from a fight, or they might run away from like sort of physical altercation, but they're also the ones that are presenting themselves as other, through dress, through mannerisms, through whatever. So that's not cowardly at all.
To me, being a sissy is that you're just enthusiastic. I mean, I think, what does being a sissy mean? I'm really enthusiastic.
It's taking whatever knob and turning it up a little bit.
Because it's like, I always say, it must be terrible to be like a straight person and go see Chicago, because you go see Chicago and it's or pick a movie musical, and you'd sit there and go, that was really great, we had a lovely time. But if you're gay, you can go, oh my God, did you see the part where she, and you can go out of your mind. It's way more fun. I remember a line from Harvey, I assume it was Torch-Song Trilogy, but I don't really know if that's where it was. But he said that when the revolution came, which I think is kind of what we're in now, when the revolution came, big queens like him would be swept under the rug. Do you think that's come to pass?
Oh, I rail against that all the time. And I write the column for Out, and they send back every other column, because all I rail about is assimilation. And I remember when the California allowed gay marriage to happen, one of the leaders of one of the big gay rights, national gay rights groups said, we can all get married, that's really great, but everybody tone down your weddings. There's a time for celebration, there's a time for flamboyance. People are watching, don't be flamboyant. And I was like, are you kidding? I mean, this is what we've lived for, flamboyance. So yes, I think there's this movement to sweep all the sissies, and whatever other words there are, swish, sissy, faggots, sweep us all under the rug. Now, okay, when you were on TV, did you ever feel sort of forced to sissy it up?
There was a pilot for a gay View, a gay version of The View.
Oh, yeah.
And we kind of knew we were in the wrong hands, because it was like, gay it up, and it really wasn't like, be smart, it was be on fire. And that was problematic for me. Gay is high on my list of who I am, but it's not the only thing, and I don't want to, I don't want to be perceived as straight, and I don't want to be perceived as stupid. Those are two, I don't want to be either of those things in anyone's mind. But I think when we were doing The Daily Show, it was really, really faggy, but it was on purpose, and it was, I hope and believed, very knowing, and it was also, my goal was to always point out that this character had a boyfriend, and that he was a fat, hairy, bald, effeminate man in a loving relationship who got on with his parents, and it was that you were all of those things that they say you can't be if you want to be in a relationship, or you want to be successful, or you want to be whatever. That was to me the message. I always think it's like, well, what advice would you give young people? And it's like, stop hating yourself earlier. That's the best advice I can think of. It's like, hate yourself till you're about 20, and then stop.
Yeah.
Don't wait till you're 32, I mean, it's like, stop.
Pick it up again when you're 40.
Pick it up, come back around to, no, I mean, it's like, because I think you have to, you can, some people hate themselves their entire life. It's like, well, you gotta stop, and it's just the sooner you get over that shit, the better.
And that's all for this excerpt from Out at the Center. If you want to see the full show, check it out on our website at gaycenter.org/out. I'm Laverne Cox. Until next time, stay in the love.